Dentists that own their own practice, provide customer service excellence, and work with a professional SEO make the most money. Welcome to Dental SEO 101, a podcast dedicated to helping dentists retire well.
Hello and welcome to the Dental SEO 101 podcast, episode number 9 by First Dentist. My name is Ross Dunn and I'm the director of SEO and co-founder of First Dentist. All right, well, let's jump right into some general SEO news now. I'm going to start off with some gold here. How can dentists stay competitive in search results in the new world of AI and Google search and Perplexity and OpenAI and it goes on and on and on. In short, go the distance. Make certain that your website is a living resource with regular updates that add value. Now, what does that mean? I know that can be quite overwhelming for people to understand. Well, genuine opinion pieces, thoughtful and helpful resources, content that attends to the need of different personas, such as the blind or the elderly. All of that information is going to add depth and value to your website that, frankly, most vanilla dental websites don't have. And that's what's going to help you stand out. Number 2, since AI will answer most simple questions immediately, you really aren't going to get a lot of traffic for people coming to your site just to get, find out what is the process for braces. It used to be the case. You might just be the number 1 ranking for how do braces work or how long do braces need to be on and all that kind of information. Well, a lot of times AI overviews, let's say if people are using Google, which they still do mostly, are going to answer that question right away, and they're not going to send that traffic to your website. So technically you're losing traffic. Fortunately, when people are really about to make the decision of who they're going to go to have their braces done, or who they're going to go to have a filling or whatever it might be, they're going to do the homework and dig deeper and actually look and compare and contrast different practices. Now, with that said, you still want to add depth to the content you have. And this is by doing it by making your content multimodal. What does that mean? Well, having different modes of learning, having different modes of viewing and digesting the content. It can be imagery, such as infographics, or simple imagery at all, videos, testimonials, goes on and on. I mean, it can be a number of different things. I mean, I've covered the main ones right there, but consider when you write a great piece of content that you've added to your site to continue adding these multimodal pieces to it. That way it's not so overwhelming when you're writing it. If you write a great piece of content, you can now make a note. Okay, next month I'm going to go and add an image to this. Or next month I'm going to create a little video that I can add to this content. What does that create? Well, it gives you the opportunity to be a resource for these AI search results. And that is powerful. I mean, the only content that's going to show there and be used in AI results is content that has depth, has authority, shows that you really know what you're talking about. So build this in, and the benefits will be that you will create a great experience for anyone who's coming to your site. You're more likely to get backlinks to that content. You're more likely to be sourced. And there's just no way to lose in that circumstance. Number 3, be a pillar of your community. I know it's not everyone's jam, but it is really important to become hyper local. We've been saying it for years, but now it's even more important. Really build your reputation in your town, city, area, wherever you're at. It's critical. Support a sports team and do it consistently. If you don't want to do that, be charitable and stick to specific charities that mean something to you or to your staff. Perhaps each staff member gets the chance to choose a charity, and they contribute X amount of hours per month to support that charity as part of your willingness to help your community. That's pretty powerful, and that needs to be mentioned on your site. So not only do you need to do all of this, but you need to be proud and provide evidence of this great work on your website. This will be noticed, and Of course, can't help but be an SEO here. You do want to hopefully get a link from wherever you're supporting. If it's a local chapter of a particular charity, hopefully they will give you a link saying, hey, yeah, this is one of our supporters. We thank them very much, blah, blah, blah. Get a video with them, get a testimonial for them thanking you. All of these things help so much. It feels a little weird asking for this, but the value, it's win-win. They're getting what they need, and they're more than happy. Most of the time, they're more than happy to help you out as well. Why wouldn't they? Number 4, reviews of all kinds are beneficial. Third party, first party, videos, and case studies. Anything else I've missed? Uh, Third party might be Dr. Oogle. I don't know why that came to mind. It's like probably the lowest quality one. But anyway, I don't know much. I haven't been looking at these directories lately. I've got stuff that's a little more on top of that. But there are a number of third party sites where if you do build a review profile, that's going to have some benefit. First party is when they send you the testimonial, then you get to use it on your own website. Perhaps they send you a video, a short clip from their phone. Wow, that's enormous. And a proper video, if they're really impressed, you can get someone and send them over to do video of them and thanking you. Create a case study, a before and after, along with their testimonial and video. This stuff is just win, win, win. It's fantastic. Number 5, and I can't stress this enough because they're coming out of the woodwork. Do not fall for all of the marketing ads pitching dirt cheap SEO and link building unless you want to pay a lot more later on when you have to clean up the mess made by these providers. There's a ton of people out there saying, well, now with the emergence of AI, you no longer need to spend any money on marketing. And I mean, I know that sounds so self-serving for me to say that, but it's garbage. It's never going to be that you can't do, or that you can automate this, because the simple fact is, if everyone could do it, you'd still need to find a way to be above the others. And that's meaning to do more work. You can't just do it the simple way, at least this simple. So please do keep in mind that if you go that route, I can nearly guarantee you the benefits are going to be terrible. Well, there's going to be no zero benefits, and you're going to have to pay to have the mess cleaned up. We've done it many times for other clients who've come back, or new clients who've come to us and gone, oh, okay, I kind of screwed up here. And there are a lot of people out there with these get rich fly by night businesses that are trying to secure your dollars with misinformation guised amid all this AI hype. So enough said. I did want to mention it though. So there, five major tips that I think I know will help you out and make your business stronger, your website stronger, and ensure that you have the best position possible with all of the changes coming in search. All right, let's jump into some news now. Well, it's been talked about for years, but AI is to launch an AI search for Siri in 2026. Now, this is kind of an ongoing joke in the SEO community. Like, when will Apple finally launch a search engine? And it's something they never bothered to do. But Siri, which I know from Apple users, is frankly terrible compared to most systems nowadays. It was great when it came out, but it's just appalling at this point, is finally getting some serious upgrades. They're building their own AI-powered search engine. Currently, it is known internally as World Knowledge Answers, and will debut in spring of 2026. Their goal is to transform Siri into an answer engine. It'll be similar to how Google's AI overviews and ChatGPT work. They will not be like the Siri we know today, or this will not be. The new system will generate summaries blending text, images, video, and search results, and local search results. It is planned to be expanded into Safari as well, logically. The overhaul will partially rely on Google's Gemini AI model. Wow, I didn't see that coming. As you can see, I'm reading notes from a colleague of mine wrote on this particular subject, and I didn't know that. Well, I'm shocked that Apple would ever use anything from Google. There was quite a battle between them, I thought. Oh, well, anyway, We'll see what comes of it. They've certainly taken a long time to make upgrades to Siri, so we'll see if this is a mess or not. I have a bit of a bad feeling about it. Time will tell. Google has released the August 2025 spam update. I'm now in September as I do this podcast, and that spam update has caused some fluctuations, which is normal for even people who with no problems. It just tends to cause a bit of a shuffle. Uh, Obviously, anyone with no issues are going to be bouncing back, or at least we'll see modest changes, if any. Those who have been breaking Google's guidelines may really feel a hit, and I know some are. Some have lost 50% plus in traffic. So let's get right back to the content, though. On August 26th, Google announced today we released the August 2025 spam update. It may take a few weeks to complete. This is a normal spam update, and it will roll out for all languages and locations. We'll post on the Google Search status dashboard when the rollout is done. All right, this update will be rolling out over the next few weeks. The last spam update was in December of last year, at least the one announced. At this time, there are no more details on what kinds of spam Google may be targeting. And even in the forums, there's nothing yet, and it's obviously been rolled out of quite a few days now. Now, a lot of tools are used in the search marketing realm. We're personally big fans of SEMrush, but there's a lot of AI tools that are being built, and I'm quite a fan of those. Most of them are quite they're on the down low. They're not very public yet, sort of shared amidst us SEOs, but bigger companies like Ahrefs and SEMrush are always trying to innovate. And in this case, Ahrefs has launched a tracker comparing ChatGPT and Google referral traffic. The idea behind this, and this is a searchenginejournal.com article, is that what this tracker does is it compares monthly growth for major search engines and large language models. You can select which engines you want to compare against. This makes it easy to compare one large language model to another. You can also see traffic share based on regions and industry. Currently, the data is based on 44,421 websites that are using Ahrefs' free web analytics tool. Data is currently available for December 2024 through July 2025. This tracker appears to be evolving quickly, and data is available. Was one second here. The tracker appears to be evolving quickly. Oh, I see. And data available. The data available now is greatly increased over what was there last week. So it is improving, and we're going to see a lot more value coming out of that. If you're an Ahrefs user and you haven't heard of this, check it out. If you're totally unfamiliar with it, which I imagine many are, it's a cool platform. It has a lot of tools that are similar to SEMrush. Both are great analysis tools if you really want to dig into the down and dirty details of how rankings are created and what changes are happening. These are great sites to do it, and they help you monitor your website, etc. They're not cheap, though. Keep that in mind. Google traffic has dropped 50% after a site hack. Recovery can take time, says Google. All right. This is terrifying. I see this. I don't know. Maybe, luckily, I've probably only seen this 10 times in the last 28 years, where it's been profoundly damaging. But if your website isn't regularly monitored and updated, it is possible to get hacked. Very easy to get hacked, in fact, if you haven't been monitoring and updating it. Even when you're monitoring up and updating it, though, it can still get hacked, and you need to jump on it immediately, or the damage is severe. Very often, anyways. So from here, an SEO, and this is a Search Engine Roundtable article, says an SEO consultant had posted to LinkedIn that one of their websites saw a 50% decline in traffic over a 2-week period. Their post reads, "Our website just suffered a massive traffic drop from 2,000 plus daily visits to about 1,100, almost 50% wiped out in just 2 weeks, and it's still going down as I write this post." The source was a hack that injected over 210,000 fake product pages, all indexed by Google and interlinked across several other compromised sites. He added that he had quickly cleaned up the hack, removed all the bad files, but was disappointed that traffic continued to decline. 2 weeks later, there is still no recovery in sight. John Mueller replied that these kinds of hacks can take a bit of time to settle back down, which is one reason you should always be on top of things in terms of updates and security. So some advice from us. If you're not, well, these are bare minimum stuff, okay? Use strong passwords and two-factor authentication for your website. And many don't realize you can do that, but there is a way to do it with two-factor authentication. But definitely use strong passwords. Ensure your site uses HTTPS. That means it's secure, and you see HTTPS:// before your website address. Use a reputable hosting provider. Don't go too cheap, okay? There's a lot of cheap hosting out there, and you get what you pay for. That's why ours is $50 a month. It includes a lot more than just bare bones hosting. It's got incredible amount of backups, which is what we're getting into next here. Regular backups, and keep backups for several months, maybe longer. You got to keep in mind that when many people don't know this, but when hackers hack a website, they often do it a month or two before they take advantage of the website. And the reason they do this is because most people don't realize it, and they go back in and they go, okay, I'm going to fix this. I'm just going to restore a backup. Well, they restore the backup, but that backup has the hack in it. And even if the surface hack has been removed, often the doorway or the way they got in to hack your site has been left in there as well. So it's important to have a long history of backups. I suggest 90 days. That's what we do for ours. Every one of our clients has 90 days of backups if they're using our services. Next, keep all plugins and software versions up to date. This is kind of no-brainer, but again, it easily falls by the wayside if you're monitoring this yourself and not using a company that can help you with this. Again, something we provide for all of our clients at First Dentist. Updates need to be made to your website, and when they're done, you need to make sure that they haven't broken any functionality on your site. So if a particular plugin is updated that, let's say, manages your forums, make sure those forums are still working. Make sure they're loading properly. If there's a slider that you're using on your site that you see sliding images across the page, and there's a plugin that's running that, if you update that, go back, make sure that that slider is still working. Try it on different browsers, and then make sure it's not loading your site slowly. Oh, there's so many different things. It's amazing how many things we don't even realize we look for as SEOs and website managers that occur to me when I mention this. But yeah, it is very important. Utilize security plugins. For example, with WordPress, you can use WordFence, which is one tool we see a lot of. We personally have our own system we use, but it's very powerful. Ensure your staff is educated on cybersecurity best practices, like how to recognize phishing attempts. Phishing has gotten very intelligent. There's a lot of sneaky ways people can try to emulate you as the dentist contacting staff, asking for something. And there's been many over the years. I won't get into them, but they need to understand the basic fingerprint of a phishing attack so they can ignore these, or when in doubt, ask the dentist, or when in doubt, ask your manager. Very, very important. All right, let's jump into some AI in search. We kind of covered some of it, but this is specifically about AI. LLM, that's large language model traffic, is converting about the same as organic search traffic. This is search from AMSIV agency. It's a large agency that works with various companies, not just dentists, of course. Very few are like us. According to some new research, LLM traffic is converting about the same as regular organic results. The test research was based on 54 websites over 6 months with validated conversions of form fills and purchases. The research showed the following data. Organic traffic, that's non-paid traffic from Google or wherever, or converted at 4.6% compared to 4.87% for traffic from LLMs like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Search, you name it. It's also worth noting, though, that this percentage is it sounds fantastic, but that traffic from LLMs accounted for less than 1% of the total traffic to the site. Why? Well, a simple fact is AI doesn't really do a great job of sending a person off-site to the source, and that's a problem. That said, as I mentioned earlier, when people are really getting down to the brass tacks and they're trying to determine who they're going to choose for their provider, they're going to dig farther than what AI provides in most cases. Now, if you've used Google AI Google recently, you'll notice that they've got an AI mode option. Well, there are some mutterings that this may become the default Google search experience soon. Now, let's put soon in quotation marks here because lead project manager for Google, Logan Kilpatrick, replied to a post on X on September 5th suggesting that AI mode will be the default search experience at Google soon. This comes shortly after Google announced that google.com/AI leads you directly to Google's AI mode, no longer requiring you to click on the AI mode tab in regular search. But Robbie Stein, VP at Google, I take his word for it a little more than others, said in response that he wouldn't read too much into this. We're focusing on making it easy to access AI mode for those who want it. And yeah, you got to remember, Google has to make money. And it has to, in this crazy world of our economics, for some reason, every business has to keep growing, which is impossible, but that's just how things work. So they need to ensure that when they're building in AI, they're not going to lose money. And that has to be done slowly. They can't just shift everything or they're going to lose a bundle. And they have other worries too that are legal concerns and so on and so on. So it's going to be slower than a simple rollover to no more no more mixed results on page. Next up, nearly all ChatGPT users still rely on Google, at least the data. Some interesting figures come from SimilarWeb, shows that 95.3% of ChatGPT users visited Google, while 14.3% of Google users visited ChatGPT. In August, ChatGPT had 5.8 billion visits compared to Google's 83.8 billion. Whew. I mean, that's huge, a huge difference, but that's impressive that ChatGPT is at that level. It's just going to keep climbing. And you have to keep in mind too, ChatGPT, although it does have the lion's share of the press as a term, it's almost becoming synonymous with AI search instead of being, well, it's kind of like, you get a tissue and blow your nose. Well, a lot of people call that Kleenex because that was the original brand. So when people say I'm using ChatGPT, they might be going to Perplexity. They might be going somewhere else. And that's, I think, going to be more and more common. A lot of people just don't say AI chat or AI search. They just say ChatGPT. And I think that's going to confuse things when it comes to these surveys soon. Anyway, obviously, ChatGPT has a long way to go to make a notable dent at Google, but in some cases, it is outperforming Bing. Search Engine Land noted that their ChatGPT referral traffic is surging, and in August, it surpassed what they're receiving from Bing. So for now, LLMs are small and Google is still king, but the day may come where the LLMs may be major players in search. I don't think that's a may. I think that's a likely thing. And I love that there's variety. It's healthier for businesses. It's just plain healthy for competitiveness and just seeing innovation. I love it. Well, on behalf of myself, Ross Dunn, Director of SEO and co-founder of First Dentist, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions you'd like answered either on the podcast for free or on more private consulting basis, please email info@firstdentist.com. Thank you for listening, and remember to tune into our next episode where we'll be sharing more 101 SEO tips and news on dental SEO.